Satnam, chers amis. We are going to do a quick little tune in, hands at your heart. Exhale. Breathe in to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. So we can always open the space in the most polite and gracious way through the Adi mantras, through the Om Namo Gurudev Namo. We're going to speak about the chakras, and chakras means wheels or circles, and they are metaphysical concepts. So if you did a biopsy of somebody, you would not find chakras. And yet they are as real as it gets, and they are mostly associated with a stage of consciousness. So we talk of 7 chakras, 7 main chakras, and the 8th chakra is the aura and the electromagnetic fields through which the chakras are being projected. And that means that at any given time we have access to 7 different states of consciousness, and we develop simultaneously any of these 7 states of consciousness. So you could have a very advanced 7th chakra, your crown chakra, and your 1st chakra might be really compromised or having a difficult time. So it doesn't go sequentially or in a vertical way from the bottom to the upper chakras. Like, it's not linear. It can, because we are never linear. We move and change, and we have defining moments in our lives. So we should not assume that it always goes completely from A to B to C to D. And yet there is a gradual sense of opening or closing, stabilizing, and evolution. So much so that we even compare the 1st chakra to the earlier years of childhood, 2nd chakra to your teenage years, 3rd chakra, later teenage years and early 20s, 4th chakra, the time where normally you build family and you become sort of like a, contributing member of society. 5th chakra, more a time where you have gathered tools, wisdom, something to share, something to talk about. And 6th chakra is a sense of initiation and teacher, and even as far as priesthood. Okay. And 7th chakra is a sense of merger or a sense of connection. And of course, ironically, but why not? Sometimes when you're a baby, you could have the biggest, most open crown chakra altogether. So, because you have just come from the angelic realms, and you still are so connected to that space of infinity. The chakras have different colors. They relate with different elements. They even are associated with different animals, and the animals they are associated with express the momentum or the pace or the slowness or fastness of a chakra. So that's all in your book, and you can read that up, and it's very, very beautiful. 1st chakra. Every chakra relates to certain areas of the body as well, and the metaphysics teachers will contend that if that chakra is out of balance, there may be issues with that area of the body. And when we practice yoga and meditation, then we have an opportunity to adjust and fine tune and actually heal any matter that is associated with that chakra. So, first chakra relates to the tribe, and the tribe is our human allegiance, like we all belong to the human tribe. And the first chakra has issues and explorations around what does it mean to be human and what does it mean to connect with the collective. How far, how much do I feel part of humanity? How much do I share the values of humanity? And the physical areas that it relates to is feet, ankles, legs, knees, thighs, hips, lower back, digestive system, and even the areas of your sphincters, and it's not as not a paradox, or it's not incomprehensible that the first chakra also has to do with control and either a sense of trust or needing to control one's environment. Okay. In a larger sense, it means taking responsibility for being a human and taking responsibility for your environments. The element it relates to is the earth element, and in a expanded sense, it means how do we care for our planet. Okay. Second chakra, from relating through the first chakra with all of humanity, the second chakra relates to how can I connect and communicate with another. And not only generally with a friend, but it also relates to who's my intimate partner? Who can I really bare myself to? Who can I show myself to? And do I feel that I am an acceptable human being? So, when you have a beloved, your intimate partner, you want to have a sense that you can be seen in every which way, warts and all, as we say. And the second chakra relates to, do I have the sense that everything that I am can be beautiful and acceptable to another? And we don't always have, that perfect partner or that perfect relationship. And the other aspect of the second chakra is also the sense of fluidity and connectedness with the invisible realm. So it doesn't only mean the relationship with another, it can also mean seeing all of creation as the other with whom I have this beautiful connectedness and intimate relationship. Second chakra relates to your digestive system as well, but also your reproductive system, so that applies to men and women. It also relates to your lower back, your pelvis, your hips, your psoas muscle that runs right through from the lower back through the hips and connects to the legs. And it has many aspects, like if the sphincter relates to the first chakra, you also have sphincters related to your urinary system. And any of those associations, even as we get older, that sense of sphincter balance that we want to remain connected with our energy flow. Third chakra is the individuation, and it's the assertion of a person to be themselves. And they say that there is 4 aspects to the third chakra, and it relates to a revolution, which means separating yourself out from the collective and from any relationship pressures, which is actually a liberation, because you don't only want to be, beholden to a relationship, you want to function and be free to be yourself. Second part is involution, a sense of withdrawing and going into introversion and like discovering who you are. The third aspect is a certain sense of healthy individuation. It's even called narcissism. We read so much about narcissistic disorder, and there is a place where narcissism is very inappropriate and very toxic, and yet there is a little bit of narcissism that we may all have that helps us to stand on our own 2 feet. Okay, so there is also an aspect of narcissism that's considered to be healthy. And then fourth is evolution, and that is when you take your capacity out into the world. So third chakra relates to asserting yourself and being able to stand on your own 2 feet. So we can also see how that relates to a certain age where you grow up and gather skills and are able to manifest and stand in your world. Fourth chakra is a place where we manage to forgive all wrongs. So when the fourth chakra is compromised, we have very enduring hurts that somehow we cannot shift. And one way to approach the fourth chakra is through the work with the inner child. So when we find those places that are still sore and that we ruminate on, it's very nourishing and a very high degree of alchemy and healing if we can relate with the inner child and find the capacity to forgive and to move on. Because if we don't do that, then the fourth chakra will keep calling us into spaces of grief. It's been said that the first 3 chakras relate to the animal nature, and the fourth chakra is the first place where we become human and where we truly see the other person's concern as our own. So it's a very beautiful place of expanding yourself and thinking for the other and blossoming into like a human flowering, like a human concern. Fifth chakra is manifesting through the word, and it's so ironic that for many of us, to speak of spirit is one of the most difficult things. So the fifth chakra can be a place that feels very delicate for a very long time, and yet it is the transition between the heart and the head. So when we allow the heart to open and blossom and don't only follow the head, which keeps us sort of on the safe side, then the fifth chakra becomes the place where we can manifest. And when the fifth chakra becomes more activated, there is a great sense of courage and liberation associated with it. So the fifth chakra is also the place where we can say what is in the heart, where we can speak the truth. And it can be a place that's either blunt or that is kind, it depends what skills you gather. But you will speak up and you will say what needs to be said. So I want to suggest for that fifth chakra that whenever you feel you actually had the capacity to assert yourself and say what you needed to say, that would be a healing for your fifth chakra. Sixth chakra is the place of insight, teacher, priesthood, and being able to pass on a legacy. Okay. And the sixth chakra relates to the pituitary gland, and the pituitary gland has 2 lobes. So the sixth chakra is the place where we also reconcile a certain paradox, and the paradox might be that we are in the body and yet we are a spiritual being that has an earthly existence. Okay, sixth chakra relates to that as well. And it relates to a sense of ordination, and that's how it relates to priesthood. So what that can mean is this call of spirit. So you say, I don't have time for yoga, but then somehow yoga keeps coming to you. Or you say, I'm not quite sure whom I'm supposed to be teaching. And next thing somebody comes up to you and says, could you teach me something about yoga? You know, so the sixth chakra relates to a constant engagement of your spirit manifesting into the world. So it's something very beautiful there. And what it also means is kind of to surrender to the flow. I recently spoke to somebody who said, I thought I was supposed to stop being a teacher, but it wasn't meant to be. I kept finding that I had something to share with the world. So that's something of the sixth chakra. And the yogis say that your destiny is mapped out on your forehead. So when you encounter somebody with the sight, they can see what you're made of, and it is, somehow written here on your brow, which is the area of the sixth chakra. And lastly, the seventh chakra is your crown chakra, and it is your daily download of cosmic energy. So when we get up in the morning and we meditate, it's a way to relate with the flow for the day, right? So there is another teaching in yoga that says that in this sequence of the chakras, there is 3 knots, and a knot is something of a gate or a block. So it's either a block or it's a gate that you pass through. And when we practice yoga and we do our mulband and we activate the bandhas, then we have a chance to penetrate through these locks. And the first knot is called the knot of Brahma, and it relates to the first chakra. And when that one releases and opens, it relates to letting go of attachments, to sensations, names, and forms, and the ability to sit still and meditate. The next one is in the area of the heart chakra. And when we have the sense of being able to forgive personal betrayals, which expands us and allows us to also think of others in such a big and expanded way, then that second knot, which is known as the knot of Vishnu, and Vishnu is the energy of sustenance and sustainer, will open. And it allows us to experience the best part of the heart chakra. A detachment, lightness of heart, and playfulness is experienced when complex relationships are released. And the third one is in the area of your third eye, and it's known as the knot of Shiva. And Shiva is the transformative energy. And in this third knot, the 3 rivers of Ida, Pingala, and Shushmana, we'll talk about that some other time, open up to be able to relate with the past, present, and future. So now I want to just complete with a little meditation, and you can practice this right throughout the week or whenever you feel that the mood is right for that. Please just for a moment place your left hand on your heart, and you hold it like this, you hold it straight. And here in Gyan Mudra, you close your index finger and your thumb, but not like so, okay? And you hold that as if you're taking an oath at your side. Please breathe in deeply through your nose. Chin is a little drawn in. And when you have fully inhaled, you hold the breath. And you breathe out. And when you have fully exhaled, you hold the breath out. And you inhale. And you expand your lungs a little more to hold the breath better. You just top up with the last little sip. And you know you're relaxed when your jaw is relaxed and your mouth and your tongue is relaxed. And you breathe out. And you hold the breath out. And as you do this, you ask yourself, where's my essence? Where is the true me? Where is that place? Is it a luminous spot inside your head? Is it at the base of your skull? Is it in your collarbones? Is it in your heart? Where is that sense of anchor? And please relax your hands down now, and we do a further visualization. Place your awareness at your root chakra. Your first chakra is also known as the root chakra, and it is at your tailbone, which is your vestigial little tail. We don't have a tail anymore, but we have a tailbone. And think of your tribal allegiance. And ask yourself, in which way am I being controlled by thoughts and ideas that don't belong to me? In which way am I buying into thoughts and ideas that are not of my own? And take a mental note. And then turn your attention to the second chakra, and it is in the area of your pubic bone. And ask yourself, what beliefs do I hold there that are not my own? Do I feel I have to give and give and give? Or does that second chakra area belong to me? To nourish, and to vitalize, and to allow my creative juices to run through my body and my being. And you take a deep breath into your third chakra. The color is yellow. And ask yourself, what are some of the worries and the concerns that I hold in my third chakra? Does it feel tired? And take another deeply nourishing breath into your third chakra. And onward and upward. Fourth chakra, the area of your breastbone, the sternum, right here where we place our hands when we tune in. It's pink and sometimes depicted as green. And ask yourself, what are some of the issues I carry in there? Do I carry somebody else's hurt? Or is my heart chakra a safe place for myself? Is my heart chakra safe? So it is easy for me to love. And your fifth chakra is your throat. And it is turquoise. And imagine that area of your throat to be flooded with that beautiful turquoise light. And ask yourself, can this chakra be well enough so I can speak, and I can manifest, and I can impact, and I can let the words of love and truth reach out into my world? And tune into the area between your eyebrows and a little bit up, your third eye, sixth chakra, Ajna. It's indigo blue. And ask yourself, do you trust what you see? What you see with the eye of the spirit? When you meditate, look through that chakra to see with the eye of the spirit. Is there any dampening energy sitting in that chakra? Anything that doesn't belong there? And make a mental note. So that you can allow it to go. And lastly, your crown. White light, just in the middle of the top of your skull. The sense of being linked and hooked into the universe, into everything that's invisible, into the nourishing and support of the cosmos, or infinity, or God, or spirit, or howsoever you describe that yourself. And lastly, take a deep breath and visualize your aura, the space around you, and ask yourself, how does your energy radiate into that space? And breathe in deeply. And breathe out. And I invite you to do this exercise as often as you want to. Okay. Thank you so far. This took longer than I anticipated. Deep breath in and one Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam, dear ones.